Hi, Firsties. Today I'm going to be reading you a different version of Little Red Riding Hood, but this time it's going to be told by a different perspective. Instead of being told by a person, it's being told from the perspective of the wolf. And it says, honestly, Red Riding Hood was rotten. The story of Little Red Riding Hood, as told by the wolf. So let's go see what he has to say happened. Honestly, Red Riding Hood was rotten. The story of Little Red Riding Hood as told by the wolf. Let's go see. Chomp, chomp. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just finishing my lunch. My name's Wolf. Big Bad Wolf. You may have heard the story of Little Red Riding Hood about a girl and her granny. Seems everyone has. My tale is different. Did I say tail? I mean tail. Do you see that? He has two different ways. Tail, like he has a tail, or tail like a fairy tale or a story. Let's see what he says. Once upon a time sounds like a folk story. It's beginning with once upon a time. Once upon a time, I ran out of food. Completely. The cupboards were bare, the freezer too, and I'd eaten every last vegetable and fruit in the garden. Every single one. Other wolves might have lunched on little forest critters like chipmunks or bunnies or squirrels, but I am a vegetarian. A vegetarian, that is. That's right. I don't eat meat. Well, I try not to. I love apples, Honeycrisp, Pink Lady, Golden Delicious, any kind of apple. And really, but sadly, it was a long time until the apple harvest. Oh no. So I hadn't eaten in weeks. And well, my stomach was feeling very hungry. It moaned and it groaned, it growled and it howled. It even roared. Then my nose took over. Sniff, sniff. I took a whiff. What was it? A girl? Sniff, sniff. I took a whiff. A girl? No. Cake? No. Butter? In this forest? I had to go and investigate. Who do you think it is? I think it's going to be Little Red Riding Hood. Let's see. And there she was, Little Red Riding Hood. See her? She looked as plump and juicy as a big, sweet apple. She does kind of look like an apple. Well, Little Red waved her cape. Isn't it pretty? She said. Yeah, I said. Aren't I pretty? She said. Was she admiring herself in that puddle? With this cape, she said, I'm even prettier than usual. Boy, someone sure was full of herself. And my stomach was growling. Let's see. Little Red twirled a strand of hair. Like this, right? When you twirl it. Mother says the cape looks grand with my skin. My skin shines like pearls. Oh, she's bragging, right? Oh, or the meat of a ripe apple, I thought, licking my chops. Remember, I hadn't eaten in weeks. Time to chomp, chomp. He's hungry, right? Imagine if you hadn't eaten in weeks and you loved apples. She does kind of look like an apple. But then Little Red said, I can't wait until Granny sees how pretty I am today. I'm bringing her cake and butter from my mother. My stomach howled. 2 meals, I thought. Granny for breakfast and Little Red for lunch and cake and butter for dessert. Well, where does Granny live? I asked. Little Red pointed. Down there in the clearing, the brown house. Oh, I knew that house. I had a plan. Do you think she deserves to be eaten just because she was bragging a little bit? I brag sometimes when I got a gift I liked or something good happened. I hope that doesn't mean I deserve to be eaten by a wolf. Let's see what else he says. Let's play a game, I said. Little Red smiled. I'm awesome at games. I bet you are, I said. You take pride at this, don't you? Well, you take this path and I'll take that path, and let's see who arrives at Granny's first. I will, she said. I'm the prettiest and the fastest. I bet you are, I said. My stomach moaned before it groaned. I ran. No one knows the forest like I do. I chose the shorter path. Oh, he was being proactive and had a plan in mind, using his habits, right, guys? Let's see what happens. Sniff, sniff. I took a whiff. What was it? Apple air freshener? Tap, tap. I knocked on the door. Who's there? Called out a voice. Your granddaughter, I squeaked. I've brought you cake and butter from Mother. Door's open, Granny said. And look at poor Granny. She looks innocent. Does she deserve to be eaten by the wolf? Granny tugged at her nightcap. Green, she said. Isn't it pretty? Pretty like a Granny Smith apple, I thought. Aren't I pretty? Granny said. You must have heard the saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, it's true. And my stomach roared. What's that noise? Granny asked. Chomp, chomp. I had to eat her. She was no Macintosh apple, but not too bad. I still felt hungry. Tap, tap. Little Red knocked on the door. Who's there? I called out, crawling into Granny's bed. Your granddaughter, Little Red said. I brought you cake and butter from Mother. Door's open, I said. Little Red walked in and caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror. Isn't my cake pretty, Granny? She said. Aren't I pretty? I clenched my teeth. Wow, he gets really mad at her. Granny, Little Red said, what deep dark eyes I have. I said, the color of apple seeds. Granny, she said, what perfect ears I have. I said, shaped like sharply cut apple slices. Granny, she said, what pretty red lips I have. I said, red delicious. Granny, she said, what lovely skin I have. What do you think the wolf will do next? Chomp, chomp. I ate her up. What can I say? Things look different when you're hungry. She was no Fuji or Crispin apple. In fact, to be honest, she was a bit rotten, but she was better than nothing. Plus, I got dessert. And there you go. That is the end of his version of the story. So what do you think? Do you agree with the wolf? Do you think that Little Red and her grandma deserve to be eaten because they were bragging too much? Is that your opinion? Or do you disagree with the wolf? Do you think they don't deserve to be eaten? Get out your read and respond notebook. I'll get mine out now. Here's mine. Mine's pink. Yours might be a different color. Doesn't matter. As long as it has the metal binding. I like to keep a sticky note so it's easy to find my next open page. Yesterday I said I learned about the wolf's guard hairs. What did you learn about a wolf? Well, today we are going to give our opinion. Do we think the wolf did the right thing or the wrong thing? So let's go ahead and start our sentence. Get out your pencil now. I'll get out mine. I'm going to use a marker so you can see it. So we're going to start with a capital I. And if you think the wolf did the right thing, you're going to say, I agree. When you say I agree, that means that you agree with the wolf. You think he's right, okay? If you don't agree with the wolf, if you think he did the wrong thing, you're going to write this word, disagree. And dis means not. So when we say disagree, that means I disagree. I do not agree. So they're going to say, I agree. Like, yeah, the wolf did the right thing. Eat them. Or I disagree. Like, no, wolf, you can't eat them. I disagree or agree with if. Do you hear the sounds in that one? If. With the. And that's a sight word, right? T-H-E. The. Wolf. Let's try to sound that out. Wolf. That's a hard word. Wolf. W-O-L-F-I. With the wolf because. Why? Why do you think he did the right thing, or why do you think he did the wrong thing? And then draw a picture to go with it. And because is spelled B-E-C-A-U-S-E. So you disagree or you agree with the wolf because. And then you have to draw and color your picture. I can't wait to hear your opinion, what you think. I'm going to start mine now. Bye, firsties. I hope you liked the story.